Good morning, good afternoon, I'm muted. Let's go ahead and unmute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of the Clipper faithful. Thank you so much for joining me today for day 3 of Polygon Week Community Takeover. Let's give a few moments for people to trickle in. We have a wonderful guest today, Justin Havins from the Decentralized Finance team at Polygon. We're going to do all of those intros again and again. But while we wait for people to trickle in, I did get the giveaway bot working again. So let's head over to hashtag Polygon Week Community Takeover, and we're going to do a quick giveaway while we wait for people to come in. So head over. Remember, you don't have to spam. You just have to click the emoji. I checked it this morning. It was working. It's working right now. We're going to have it last 45 seconds. We will have one winner. We'll have, We'll have the prize be 5 Matic, and we are celebrating early birds. Submitting starting now in Polygon Week Community Takeover subchannel in the Discord. Make sure to click your entries and let's find ourselves a winner. And after those 35 seconds, we'll have more people in chat and we will get started. Got about 27 seconds left. Today we're going to go over the questions. We're going to talk with Justin Havins from the Polygon Decentralized team. We're going to explain a little bit about Polygon Community Takeover Week, and then we're going to do a bunch of learning. We got 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our winner is... Let's find out. It was Striker. Congratulations, Striker. Make sure to message me after the call, and we will make sure to get you your prize of 5 Matic. Okay, so I want more people to show up, but while we wait, Justin, why don't you go ahead and take yourself off mute and introduce yourself to the community.
Thank you, Ben, for that amazing introduction. As Ben said, my name is Justin Havins. You can find me on Twitter as crypto_Texan because I do live in Texas. And I am on the decentralized finance team for Polygon. I have, started in the crypto space around 2017 when I bought my first little piece of Bitcoin, and then obviously the price crashed, but I kept, I was just like invigorated with the technology and wanted to find out why this hype existed in the first place. And as I kept digging and digging, I just couldn't really stop, really. And I've got a traditional finance background, and so decentralized finance was particularly interesting to me. And I started working with an organization called the Index Coop, or the Index Co-op DAO. They are a DAO that creates on-chain crypto-native index products. So if you want to invest just in DeFi in general, they've got an index for that. Or you just want to invest in the metaverse in general, they've got an index for that. And then through all of that, working with the DAO, I was able to meet quite a few people at Polygon and eventually moved over there. And I've been at Polygon for about 4 months now. And it's been an incredible ride, and I couldn't think of a better place to work or a better industry to work in.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I know we both are fairly new to the space and having a blast learning every single day. When you were working with Index Co-op DAO, were you also doing your kind of traditional finance day job at the same time, and that was part-time?
Yeah. So I was working in my traditional finance job full-time and then working at the Index Coop DAO part-time. So really working 1.5 jobs for a while, but I just could not get myself away from this space. And eventually I just decided, it's probably time to just start doing this full-time. And that's why I joined the DeFi team over at Polygon.
Well, congratulations for that. And as you know, we're taking part in Polygon Week right now. And the goal of Polygon Week is we have a main pool, the Polygon pool, which has about $1.1 million of liquidity in it. Clipper generally has the best prices, best fees for our users. And that means that the people who make up the pool, they get the yield on those swaps. Of that $1.1 million, about $1 million of it is institutional liquidity. And we'd like to capture those high rates, those high yields for our, the common man, the common woman, if you will, the common pirate. So we launched an event this week where we're trying to replace that $1 million of institutional liquidity. And the way that we're doing it is every day we are launching 2 different questions, and people mark their answers with very specific on-chain activity. So later in this call, we're going to launch the questions with our specific deposit results. And today, not only do we want to increase or replace the institutional liquidity in the Polygon pool, we also want to increase liquidity in specific token pair codes on the Polygon network. So we are asking people to deposit and make swaps in specific coves, those being Hex, Sushi, and Frax. And today is our Sushi Cove Day. And I know that you specifically requested the Sushi Cove Day because you have some affinity and some knowledge about it. So I'm hoping you'll be able to teach us not only about Polygon, but maybe I'm catching you a little bit off guard here, but maybe you can teach us about sushi as well. So that's Polygon Week, but you're here to teach us. So where should we go from here?
Yeah, I can just give you a little background on Polygon, maybe take care of some misconceptions that people typically have about Polygon, and kind of give you an outlook on what the future looks like. So I'll go ahead and get started. So when it comes down to it, Polygon is a scaling solution for the Ethereum ecosystem. At Polygon, we truly believe that the future of decentralized finance and decentralized commerce in the digital form will be taking place on Ethereum. We believe that Ethereum will be the global settlement layer for the future of digital finance, and that's how we are aligned. We are very Ethereum focused and very Ethereum aligned. And I think there's also like this misconception that Polygon is only the Polygon proof of stake sidechain. And if you're interacting on Uniswap or OpenSea or QiDao, who I know was here yesterday,
Right.
or SushiSwap, all of these amazing DeFi and Web3 apps on Polygon, that's what you're interacting with. You're interacting with the Polygon proof of stake chain. And that's not the only scaling solution that we have. We actually have 7 different scaling solutions that are either in development right now, that are in testnet, or that are live. And I'll just go through these like very quickly, doing with the most popular ones. So number 1 is the Polygon proof of stake chain, which I just spoke about. The other one that we just announced is our Polygon ZK EVM, which used to be called the Polygon Hermes project. And this is a very exciting time because I think like when you look at the future of Web3 scaling and Web3 tech, the zero knowledge technology is the future. And Polygon has made an incredible investment in zero knowledge technology. The majority of our scaling solutions focus on that zero knowledge tech. Our Polygon proof of stake chain does not currently. That's more of a commit chain or a side chain. But we have got the Polygon ZK EVM, which I just talked about, which should be going live at the beginning of next year. So look out for that. We also have Polygon Nightfall, which is a privacy-focused roll-up, mainly focused on enterprises. Because I think through our conversations that we've had with businesses, governments, Web3 developers, everyone has different trade-offs that they're willing to make when they're building their application on the blockchain, which is the reason why we have all of these different scaling solutions. And from an enterprise standpoint, like all the S&P 500 companies or very big companies in the world, they want a little bit more privacy than what retail is used to on the blockchain currently. And so we've created, and this is like a zero knowledge proof, optimistic roll-up hybrid solution. Okay, so proof of stake, ZK EVM, Nightfall. We also have Polygon Avail, which is not necessarily a layer 2, but it is a scaling solution. And this gets a little bit more complicated, but it's a way of separating some of the data from the execution of the transactions to make things more efficient. And so we've got other scaling solutions outside of just the blockchain with Avail.
So
We also
would
have
it be a
Polygon.
layer two? Would that just be considered an upgrade then, or how would it be
So
considered?
yeah, we like to just use the term scaling solution, right?
Scaling
It's
solution.
because,
Okay.
what you're doing is when you submit a transaction, you have a lot of data that goes into the transaction, right? And when you're committing that all the way down to Ethereum mainnet, it's expensive and it makes things a little bit slower. So what you can do is you can use Polygon Avail to, I guess, outsource or store, is probably the better term, store a lot of that data somewhere else on the chain, and you're really just transacting with the hash of that data, and you're not it gets a little complicated from a zero knowledge proof standpoint,
Right.
but essentially you can prove that the data for that transaction is there without showing you the data for that transaction. This
Ah,
is like
so
this
people
gets
can't
into
look
moon
inside.
math.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you needed to, you could really dig in and look, but all I have to do is look and say, "Oh, that data is there because there's a proof that that data is there, and it's proven cryptographically."
Right.
So, scaling solutions and tools for developers to build, and this is really for like layer twos for other layer twos that want to build on Ethereum. They can leverage the Polygon Avail technology. And then with the other ones, we've got like our SuperNets, which is like an app specific blockchain. So there are some developers that want to build their own blockchain, but the thing that makes that difficult is that I mean, I think the tech stack knowledge that is used for building your own layer one blockchain is quite a bit different from the technical knowledge that's needed to build your own Web3 application, right? Also, there's the thing about bootstrapping validators or bootstrapping, miners in a proof of work sense. And it's just a heavy lift for a lot of developers. But what we have on the Polygon proof of stake chain is we already have a lot of validators that are validating the network and validating these transactions. So we are providing basically consensus as a service in a sense where if you want to build your own blockchain, you can just use our validating nodes and they'll confirm those transactions for you. And that's just another way to scale your application. And keep in mind, all of this is built on Ethereum. This is all sourced. Anyone can use it without permission. This is also permissionless. And so let me think. I went through Proof of Stake, Nightfall, ZK EVM, Supernets, Avail, and then we've got some like a couple other ZK EVMs that are just like very early in the development space, but use like very different types of ZK rollup technology. So Polygon Zero is a ZK rollup that leverages this new technology called Plonky 2, which is faster than Plonky, and this gets like very, very in depth and complicated. And then
Yeah.
Polygon Maiden uses what's called a Stark-based ZK rollup.
All right.
And
Well,
so,
let me hop in first of all and say that if you have questions for Crypto Texan Justin, at me or Crypto Texan in the Polygon community takeover subchannel, just add us and we'll get to all the questions. You can tell that my guy has a lot of knowledge. I have to say, I'm super impressed coming from traditional finance and only being in the space like officially for 4 months. I mean, you speak like you're a true dev. So I'm amazed by that one. Two, I've already learned something at the very basic. I've always heard of ZK rollup and all. I had no idea that. I didn't ever thought about ZK meaning zero knowledge, so I like that. But one thing I wanted to that really stood out when you were talking about devs wanting to build your own blockchain. Is it fair to say I feel like the kind of dev tools or the community based resources that Polygon provides, they seem like second to none.
yeah, I would say that we are a very, very developer-focused organization, and we just want to we want to make things as easy as possible for developers to build, right? Because when you're building, you're innovating, and innovation is what drives this space forward,
Yeah.
in our opinion. And so, yeah, I mean that's why we have all of these different scaling solutions is to just give developers the tools that they need to build exactly what they want. because Ethereum, right now, it's like you have to, it's a one size fits all solution. And it doesn't have to be, it shouldn't be. Like there's limitations to that. But with Ethereum, that's by design, right? There is an immense amount of security in the limitations of Ethereum. And that's by design. And that
Hmm.
goes back to the scalability trilemma. So what we're doing, what other layer two solutions are doing, are trying to provide, little differences here and there that can, kind of differentiate ourselves from the market, but also give developers new resources to build exactly what they want to build. And when you're building on a layer two, you're building that at scale as well, which is also exciting
Yeah.
because I mean, that's the thing. It's like right now, Ethereum does not scale. And like I said earlier, that's by design because when you have a blockchain, a layer one blockchain, you can be quick, you can have fast transactions, you can have cheap transactions, or you can be secure.
Yeah.
You cannot have all three of those. And what Ethereum does is it sacrifices quick transactions and cheap transactions to be the most secure.
Sure.
And we feel like that's a good philosophy to have because if you do want to be the foundation for the future of digital finance, that global settlement layer, I think you need to prioritize security over anything else.
Hmm.
And then let other people build on top to try to solve that scalability trilemma problem, which is what Polygon is trying to do.
Yeah, and it sounds like with your 7 different chains, you're taking different trade-offs to market towards different people's needs as they build. And
Absolutely, yeah. We work very closely with developers, and we try to get feedback from them on what they want us to build or what do they need. And I, I think that's really helpful. I mean, having this very strong relationship with the developer community has obviously done very well for us, and I think it's something we just have to continue going forward.
that next chain, the next chain to drop besides the proof of stake is the ZK EVM, and that's a beginning of 2023. Is that right?
Yes. So the Polygon SuperNets are live right now. So if
SuperNet.
you want to build your own SuperNet, using our proof of stake validators as, kind of like outsourcing your consensus mechanism to our proof of stake validators, you can build that right now. And we've got some interesting projects that are being built on it right now. And I'm not sure if I can say, so I'm just gonna not.
You'll leave it as a teaser.
I'm not. I'm not gonna say. Yeah.
Let me drop a link in chat for if someone wanted to build on the SuperNet. Where would they start? Because you guys are dev friendly. Where should I send them?
We'll go to polygon.technology and you can get a lot of very useful information about all of our scaling solutions and other initiatives that we have going on. But if you are a developer, I would go to, I'm forgetting the website. It's like village.polygon.community, I think.
Okay, let's give that a try.
Yep.
Village.
Village.polygon.community. I was right.
Yeah, nice job. All right, let me drop that in chat too. All right.
Yeah, so that's a little bit more of a developer focused.
So today our questions are going to be on the Sushi Cove. Do you have anything to teach us about sushi?
I think that sushi is just like an incredible story in decentralized finance in Web3 because you had Uniswap version 2, which was widely popular, and it still is popular today. And there was a point where everyone was asking, when is Uniswap going to have a token? And the Uniswap team said, that's not something we're focused on right now. And what the sushi team did is they said, oh, okay, well, we're just going to fork your code and create a token,
Sure.
and then we'll also incentivize people to, convert their Uniswap V2 liquidity positions over to SushiSwap. And it was really successful, and I think it made a lot of people upset at the time in the ecosystem. But I think looking back, it's just that's one of the beautiful things about Web3 is that you have the right to leave at any time. And if you don't like what's going on with the protocol, you can fork it and make it your own and improve upon it if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a very interesting. And they also grew very quickly. and they started doing, lending and like vault strategies. And I think they even did like an NFT auction launchpad for a little bit. Um, I think it's a fascinating protocol. I think the developers that work there are incredible. They are on Polygon as well. And I, their lead chief technology officer for a long time, his name was Joseph DeLong, but he left. He is from Texas. So am I.
So
So
yeah, got to have some affinity there for sure. I have a
absolutely.
few more questions actually about Polygon too, because it seems like you guys are doing so much. I'm just curious, how big is the team, and yeah, how big is the team, and who do you work with on a day-to-day basis? What's your specific team?
Yeah, so I guess our DeFi team is probably about 15, maybe 10, maybe
Uh,
10 people. I'd have to go back and count everybody, but yeah, it's pretty tight-knit team. But Polygon in general, we have about 450 people that work at Polygon.
Amazing.
Um, yeah, it's great. I think we started with 100 people at the beginning of this year, and now we're up to about 450. So
Wow,
we've had
quadrupled in
pretty
10 months.
exponential growth,
Amazing.
hiring
Yeah.
standpoints. Yeah, hiring in the bear when other teams are uh, cutting
Yeah,
jobs.
similarly, Clipper, I mean, everyone, the value of people's investments have gone down, but Clipper's been dropping out, been dropping cutting edge products during the bear market as well. So, they say in bear markets there's a renewed emphasis on quality. So, quality projects will rise to the top. So, it's nice to see that Polygon is doing that as well. Does Polygon have a home base or an actual IRL office, or it's fully remote and global and decentralized?
Pretty remote and global. Most of the founders are from India, so there tends to be quite a bit of people in India. But as we continue to grow, we're hiring more and more U.S. folks, myself included.
Yeah.
And then I've met. It was interesting because so I went to Korean Blockchain Week, and on behalf of Polygon, Polygon sent about 30 people there because we felt like there's this big opportunity in South Korea to onboard more people to Polygon and get more developers and projects on Polygon as well. And I remember like I was in a taxi cab going to one of our meetings with the rest of my team, and it was me from Texas, and then we had someone from India, South Africa, Japan, and South Korea. And I was like, wow, all these people work at Polygon, and we all live in different countries, and we're all here at the same time. And it was just it was very interesting to me just to kind of like have that feeling that wow, this is a very global movement, not just Polygon, but just the Web3 and crypto in general, right? I
Yeah.
think the our teammate from South Africa, he probably traveled the furthest. I think he had like a 35 hours worth of travel to get to
Yeah.
Korea.
I've traveled to South Africa before. It's a long plane ride.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine. I
But
can imagine.
it's really amazing to be part of it. Within Shipyard and Clipper, I mean, we're all over. We're in the U.S., we're in Canada, we're in Ukraine, Venezuela, Chile, Mexico, all over the world. Really, I think we had someone in Nigeria for a while. Um, and our users, when we look at the graph of our users within Discord, and Discord's not going to represent everyone that's actually trading, but it's Russia, Ukraine, Thailand. I mean, it is everywhere. And we try and make our talks at different times during the day. So tomorrow's talk is going to be at 7 a.m. Eastern time, today 11. We want to make sure that we have today's talk. I think is a little bit too late for China, but so we've had talks that start at 2:30 a.m. So it's going to be a little more Eastern time. So it's going to be a little more Europe time zone friendly. So really, this is a global pursuit that we're a part of, and it feels good to be a part of that. So what I will, everyone here loves to learn, but I know that they're also here to get those questions. I want to be a little bit respectful of their time because we are launching Polygon questions. So, is there any final words you want to give to the audience before I move on and give them the meat of what they're waiting for, which is the chance to deposit answers and figure out about Polygon Week?
Would just say, follow me at crypto underscore Texan. on Twitter. And if you have any questions about Polygon, Polygon DeFi, we've got a very unique and robust DeFi ecosystem with a lot of Polygon native protocols being built, as well as protocols that are coming over from the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, Kronos, Avalanche. Yeah, it feels like they're all starting to move to Polygon, which is exciting.
Yeah,
so
well,
if you ever
yeah.
have questions, just reach out to me.
Yeah. I wish Polygon the best of luck for sure. I know Matic is my like preferred token. I use stuff for, so I'm all in on Matic too. All right, I'm putting in the Polygon Week community takeover. Tell me your Twitter address again for people to follow.
Crypto_Texan, just like it looks.
Just
right
like
here.
your name. Got it.
Yeah.
Crypto_Texan on Twitter. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna drop you from stage, and I'm gonna go into talking about coves and our questions for the day. So really, truly, thank you for joining us and teaching us. I'm really impressed by how much of a dev you sound like when I know that you're like a IRL, traditional finance, maybe non-tech pleb. Maybe not as much of a non-tech pleb as me, but definitely sound very knowledgeable. So kudos for that, and thank you.
Definitely not a dev, but we're very developer focused. So I think that just kind of comes to the territory.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. I'm gonna drop you from the stage. We're gonna move on to Polygon Week questions. Thanks a lot. All right, everyone. That was Justin Havins from the decentralized finance team on Polygon. He obviously knew a ton. Make sure to follow him at crypto_Texan. And his DMs are open if you want to ask him, and he's in our Discord too. And you can also find him in the Polygon Discord. But let's get to it. So today is day 3 of the Polygon questions. Justin had talked about Sushi, the cool story about Sushi, how they forked it. The fun thing about Sushi and Uniswap, these are your kind of one-stop shop for token trading. And Clipper recently jumped on the stage with that by introducing Clipper Coves, where you're not just our Clipper core assets, but also you can trade any of your long tail tokens. So our questions today are going to focus on Clipper Coves, and you're going to deposit your answers and your swaps in you're going to make your deposit in the Sushi Cove, and your swap is going to include the Sushi token both on the Polygon network. So let's head over to our first question for the Sushi deposit. What is one of the key benefits of using Clipper Coves? And your option A is depositors harvest yield from every Clipper trade in the main pool and their specific long tail token cove, but avoid any exposure from other coves. Or B, is it a benefit that depositors earn staking rewards by locking up their funds in coves for 10-year periods? Seems like a super long time to lock up your tokens for. Is it C, coves are Bitcoin secure because they run on the Bitcoin blockchain network? I don't know if that's true, because we did talk with Justin about how Polygon is EVM and Ethereum, so perhaps that's not the right answer. And answer D is coves allow swappers to trade with economies from other planets. So A, B, C, or D. And if you want to mark your answer for question A, please deposit Sushi plus an asset of your choosing in the Sushi Cove on the Polygon network, where the combined value of the assets is greater than $10, and the right of the decimal place for Sushi deposit is 0.112233. That's 0.112233 with a combined deposit value of $10 and in the Sushi Cove, which means that one of those assets has to be Sushi. Now, of course, you could just deposit Sushi into the Sushi Cove or any other asset by itself, but you run the risk of bringing the Cove out of balance, which means that deposits could be arbed away. You need to be really careful when you publish in your coves, because you affect the price. Because every cove is a balance between that particular long tail asset and the asset mix that's in there. So make sure not to bring the cove out of balance. And the way that we help with that is, as you're depositing, it shows you what the price of the cove will be afterwards, and you don't want to affect that price by more than 1%. So just make sure that you're depositing the correct amount to not change the balance too much. So A was 0.112233. B is going to be 0.223344. C is 334455. And D is 445566. I am going to copy paste this. And look, I even have it on stream. We're going to open up Polygon Week Community Takeover, and we're going to drop the questions in here right now. We'll do it in Polygon Week questions as well. So that was our question, our deposit question for sushi. If you have questions for me, make sure to @ me and I'll get to them. And now we're going to move to the sushi swap question. What are the Clipper Core? Oh, you know what? To find the answer for our sushi deposit question, you can go to blog.clipperexchange/clippercoves, and I'm going to drop that for researching your answer. Head to this blog post, and we're posting it right now. Similarly, for our sushi swap question, you can go to clipper.cove/liquidity, go to the Polygon main network, and you're going to want to look to see what are the core assets are. So our second question, our sushi swap question, what are the Clipper core assets on the Polygon network? Is it A, Glimmer, DAI, BTC, USDC, and wrapped BTC? Is it B, OP, wrapped BTC, DAI, and wrapped ETH? Is it C, USDC, wrapped ETH, USDT, Matic, DAI, WPTC, and wrapped Matic? Or is it D, ETH, DAI, WPTC, USDC, USDT, and wrapped ETH? If you want to answer A, please make a swap involving sushi on Polygon Network where the value is greater than $10 USD and the right of the decimal place has 0.556677. If you want to answer B, similarly, make sure right of the decimal place is 667788. And C is 778899. D is 889911. Our answers are Glimmer, DAI, BTC, USD, WPTC for A, OP, WBTC, DAI, and wrapped ETH for B, USDC, wrapped ETH, USDC, Matic, DAI, WBTC, and WMatic is for C, and D is ETH, DAI, wrapped BTC, USDC, USDT, and wrapped ETH. I'm going to copy paste that and drop it in chat. And both of these chats. And what I'm going to show on screen is I'm going to go to clipper.exchange. I'm going to go up to products. I'm going to go to pools. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the Polygon network. And I'm going to go down here and look and see what are my core tokens. So go to clipper.exchange/app/liquidity/pool. Make sure you're on the Polygon network. Go ahead and see what those core assets are. And the reason we're talking about core assets, and you'll learn this if you read that blog post, is the way that Coves work is a mixture of 3 assets. So you go to swap, you make sure you're on the Polygon network, and you choose your token. You can choose your core assets, or you can choose a Cove asset, which is any asset possible. So for instance, if I want to make a swap, of course, I'm going to go to swap. I'm going to choose sushi. And it shows I personally have a balance of 38 sushi tokens, so I select that. And I want to make an amount. I can't remember what my options are, but I want to make sure that the amount is more than about $10. So let's see. If I put in 20 tokens, we want to allow my Clipper to use sushi. And we'll allow, we're going to approve that in MetaMask. I don't know if you can see that, if that window pops up on stream. But once I approve it, allow Clipper to use sushi, I will make the swap with let's say 889911, and I can swap it to anything I want. Let's call it Matic. And you can see that the value is about 28 bucks. So I could do less. All I need to do is get about 10 if I wanted to. So I could even go lower than that to qualify. But remember, we talk about the types of rewards that you can earn are for answering questions correctly, for answering questions first, and deposit bonuses. So I have my whole 38. I want to get as much bonus as possible. So I will do 38.889911. I'm going to go ahead and swap that for Matic. I'm going to look at the questions and make sure that I like that answer. Oh, you know what? I actually want 778899 personally. Yep, we're going to change it for that because I want to get this right. So look at me giving you guys answers here. And we're going to make that swap. Oh, I have to accept it over here. So we answered our questions. We explained what our deposit rewards are. I have to go ahead and confirm this. And our deposit level bonuses for the Scurvy Scalawag is $100 deposit in USD value across Polygon Pool, Hex, Sushi, and Frax. And the first mate is $1,000 and captain is $5,000. And Big Boss will be the most of everyone. So now I'm going to accept this. We're going to swap to Clipper LP because I'd actually rather swip to a LP and not out of a core asset. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we accept our deposit and we are going to go. So that is how you use Coves. And let's see if there's any questions. And if there aren't, we're going to close the day and go forth and ask your questions, answer them, and win for Polygon Week Community Takeover. Thank you so much, everyone. It doesn't look like there are any questions, so I appreciate all the people that joined. Talk soon. See you later. Bye-bye.